Moving on to Jack Daniels maker says it will cancel its DEI goals. Whiskey maker will exit the human rights campaign. LGBTQ rating set. Whiskey automatically helps these people. Okay? All of the trannies and all of that shit, they're looking for the drunk guys because those sober guys going to go anywhere near them. They should be supporting Jack Daniels, not the other way around.
Well, like, all right, I've been drinking Jack Daniels for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm very familiar with the company.
Okay.
I'm
familiar with their product, but maybe not their company.
I'm extremely disappointed in the fact that they're doing the whole DEI thing as well. Because, listen, you go into any military barracks when I was, doing the whoa shit, there would be a bottle of Jack Daniels in there somewhere. How do I know this? Because I've done probably a couple of hundred health and welfares in my career, and I found many, many bottles of hooch that weren't supposed to be there, and many of them were Jack Daniels.
As long as they weren't stupid about it, if I did a health and welfare or went through on an inspection, I would just say, come here, hide this better.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't just have it out like that. Hide it better. Because they were going to have it. I knew they were going to have this guy's 21 years old. He's allowed to have the fucking whiskey.
Yeah.
There's just this barracks rule that says you can't have a bottle of whiskey and you can only have 6 beers in your fridge. And the guy's 21. If he wants to drink, I don't give a shit so long as he's not drunk on duty, shows up on time, doesn't have any problems, and I don't have to beat his ass at 3 o'clock in the morning for doing something stupid at the gate.
Correct.
But yeah, just hide it better. But these guys, yeah.
Well, Jack Daniels is another icon,
absolutely,
of this country. And I literally think they're going after these icons to psychologically sabotage this nation.
Yes. Anything that is American is being burned to the ground. Country music, when Iraq kicked off, was the anthem of the country. Everything from Lee Greenwood to Toby Keith and all of the stuff in between. But as soon as they were done with it, by they, I mean the Bolsheviks, country music just became more thought in a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It became thoughts and chads in a cowboy hat. And they killed that whole genre. And they're doing the same thing with things like Jack Daniels. They're doing the same thing with Harley Davidson. Anything that's iconic and American, they're just stomping the hell out of.
Correct. And I would actually argue that they're doing the same thing with the big three in the auto industry by forcing the electric car thing, which is going to fail.
What is the biggest, most iconic class of items in America to most Americans? Cars, hands down.
Ford, Chevy, GM,
Dodge, Chrysler.
Yeah.
My grandpa was a master electrician for Studebaker.
Damn.
When I was a boy, I'm that old.
Wow.
I'm actually a year younger than Pop, but we've been around that long. My grandpa had 6 Studebakers in his yard when I was a boy. When I went into the military, he passed while I was in basic training. I wasn't able to make it back in time. My cousins took all of the Studebakers, and I'm mad to this day. But yeah, I mean, the cars are the iconic American item. It is. Muscle cars and all of that. I remember about 1993, and I went out into a parking lot, and all the cars looked the same, like those generic Toyota Accords or Honda Accords or whatever they are. Everything looked the same. And that was like the moment, 1993, in my head, that the classic American car, the Monte Carlo, the Charger, the Barracuda, even the IROC, which IROCs were a piece of shit, but everybody.
Yeah, it's all up. It's all up in smoke now.
Yeah, I have become a drinking game, by the way, over the Rumble chat. The dwarf said Bolsheviks drink.
Okay.
So we have established a drinking game. Anyway, the company, Jack Daniels, sent a letter to employees on Wednesday informing them that Brown-Forman, the major company that owns Jack Daniels, another thing that shouldn't be allowed, all of these umbrella companies, I hate that shit, was going to stop linking executive compensation to progress on DEI. Oh, so the more your O levels, your CEO, your CIO, your CFO, the more they push diversity and DEI, the more money they got.
Okay, now where did that money come from? Number one,
BlackRock.
Yeah, I know that. Number two, somebody needs to follow this money.
Yes.
And number three, we need to start punishing people for this.
Yes.
Either on the civil side or the criminal side or both. I would love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because listen, if you're like Boeing, for instance, if Boeing is in the business of building aircraft, why the hell are the people at the top getting bonuses for pushing DEI? That is not conducive to the fiduciary duties of the people who run the company. Thus, they could be sued into the Stone Age. You just have to have the shareholders organize the class action lawsuits to bury these sons of bitches.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to start tracking this shit down. It's really simple. If we could find an investor, because the left seems to have investors left, right, and center. We don't have anybody bankrolling us. If somebody would bankroll me, I guarantee you I can put together a team within the space of a week, bring all of this shit to light, and dump it out all on the table. I'd make Project Veritas look like a bunch of goddamn sissies. They're good. They're good, but I'm better.
Yep. And we can also, the whole Veritas debacle where they literally, infiltrated the board, kicked out the guy who started the whole thing.
Yes.
And then they went out of business. I have no idea why those shareholders aren't suing those individuals.
That was a deliberate act to destroy that organization.
I know what it was done, but still, lawsuits should be filed.
Yeah. So Jack Daniels is also going to scrap plans to push for more suppliers from a minority background, according to a copy of the letter shared on Twitter. I don't care. It's Twitter. I don't take your X and shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
By anti-DEI activist Robbie Starbuck and confirmed by Brown-Forman. Robbie Starbuck seems to cause a lot of waves in that arena.
We should try to send him an email and see if we
I think so.
Get him on the show. That'd be awesome.
I'd love to hear what he has to say about that stuff. Again, the whole purpose here is to make bourbon, to make an iconic American whiskey, Jack Daniels. You say Jack Daniels, and immediately everybody has a story.
It's called Fuck You, We're Fighting in the Parking Lot in a Bottle.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I have made many bad decisions while under the influence of Jack Daniels. So me and Jack are not friends for a while.
Yeah. Tequila is my fighting drink. You give me a couple shots of tequila, and I will fight anyone in the bar that you point me at. Doesn't matter how big he is or whether I'm going to lose or not.
Just don't fuck the fat chick and fight the police.
Don't fuck the fat police.
Hey, that's what I call tequila. Is put your dick in a fat chick and fuck the police. Bad times, man.
Oh my God. So, this is a paragraph I missed this time, the first time around with this. The decision follows similar moves in recent months from Harley Davidson. Yes, we know that. Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply is huge where I am. I'm in a rural area. My neighbor is 500 acres of corn. They did that at Tractor Supply, and the Tractor Supply here in the parking lot during the day, especially on the weekend, was suddenly empty. And then Tractor Supply rolled back its little DEI thing, and now there's people there again. It wouldn't have mattered closer to town. You get further south, there's a town called Orion. They have a Tractor Supply down there. They barely noticed. But up here, where all of the farmers are like, I need you to keep your faggots out of my cornfield, all right? it mattered. This Tractor Supply took a hit.
Yeah, they did. But here's the thing, though, is we've had a whole crop of people who were cooked and booked in the college system of basically indoctrination who are now making decisions in the real world and fucking everything up because they want communism. Straight up.
I don't understand these people wanting communism. I don't get it. They don't pay any attention. Communism is, first of all, a two-tier system. No, 3 tiers. Okay? You have the party, which is the rich people who control everything. You have the Stasi, or the NKVD, depending on where you are at, which is their enforcers.
The knuckle draggers.
The knuckle draggers.
You got to have knuckle draggers in any kind of totalitarianism dictatorship.
Yes. And then you have everybody below them. And that's you and everybody you know. And
well, I would say it's 4th tier.
What's your 4th tier?
The people who get put in the mass graves to make that made it all happen.
Oh, the useful idiots.
Correct.
The useful. Who would those be in our case here in the USA? Just in case any of them are listening, because I know we get the occasional downvote. I really enjoy watching the downvotes.
Antifa and BLM.
BLM. Mm-hmm. The LGBT, the
loose gay butt twerking queer community.
Thank you. That community.
Yeah.
That are always out in the streets causing trouble. Guess what? Guess who's the first ones to go up against the wall? Guess who gets to fill the hole? Yeah, you're not filling it with a shovel. They're pushing you in and then filling the shovel over you.
They'll dig the hole.
Yeah.
And then they'll be buried in the hole that they dug.
That is correct.
That's what happened.
Yeah. You're right. That is the 4th tier. But they just don't last as long.
No, they don't.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.